Do most extroverts really succeed just because they talk more? Or do introverts succeed by staying quiet because they're more intelligent? Is success about how much we speak, or is there a deeper reason most people miss? Hello everyone, and welcome to Wordy Tales. Today's story reveals a habit that silently holds many of us back. You might not even realize it, but this habit could be your biggest obstacle. As you listen, you'll also learn new English words and sentences you can use in real life. So, stay with us until the end. In a small, peaceful town, there lived a boy named David. David was smart, hardworking, and full of dreams. He wanted to become the top student in his class, master new skills, and build a bright future for himself and his family. He was the kind of person who always tried his best, never gave up easily, and believed that with enough effort, anything was possible. But David had one habit that was quietly creating problems in his life. He talked too much about unnecessary things. Whenever David learned something new, he couldn't keep it to himself. He would tell everyone about his plans, his dreams, his goals, and even his personal thoughts and feelings. If he decided to start a new project, he would announce it to his friends. If he wanted to improve his grades, he would share his study plans with his classmates. If he had a new idea, he would discuss it with his parents and teachers. David believed that sharing his plans would keep him motivated. He also enjoyed the praise and admiration he received from others. When people said, "Wow, that's amazing," or "You're so ambitious," he felt proud and encouraged. But despite saying so many great things, success wasn't coming. In his recent exams, his results were only average. He couldn't understand what was going wrong. He was working hard, but his grades didn't reflect his efforts. To make things worse, some people started making fun of him. They would say, "David always talks big, but nothing really changes." Others would tease him about his dreams, calling them unrealistic or impossible. David began to feel low and discouraged. He started doubting himself and wondered if he would ever achieve his goals. One weekend, feeling lost and frustrated, David went to visit his grandfather, who lived in a quiet village nearby. His grandfather was a wise and gentle man, known for his calm nature and thoughtful advice. David hoped that spending time with him would help clear his mind, but even there, he couldn't stop worrying. He sat quietly, lost in thought, while his grandfather watched him with concern. After a while, his grandfather asked, "What's the matter, son? Why do you look so down?" David hesitated, but then opened up. "Grandpa, I tell everyone about my dreams, but I'm not able to achieve them. And lately, I feel like I'm losing interest in them too." His grandfather listened carefully, nodding as David spoke. When David finished, his grandfather smiled gently and said, "David, it's because you share your dreams with everyone. That's why you're losing interest." David was surprised. "Really?" he asked. The grandfather nodded and began to tell him a story. Many years ago, in a small village, there was a farmer named Thomas. Thomas was poor but hardworking. He had a dream to build a big farm full of crops and one day live a better life. Every day, he worked hard in the fields and saved every penny he could. But Thomas had one rule: he never shared his plans with anyone. People would often ask, "Why do you work so hard all the time?" And Thomas would just smile and say, "You'll understand in time." Years passed. Slowly, Thomas bought one small piece of land, then another. He grew crops and earned money. The next year, he built a lovely house. Everyone in the village was shocked. They had no idea how he achieved so much. One day, an old friend visited him and asked, "Why didn't you ever share your dreams with anyone?" Thomas smiled and said, "When you talk too much, two things happen. 1. People try to discourage you. 2. You waste your energy talking instead of doing. Silence protects your goals. Words are like arrows. Once released, you can't take them back." I wanted my success to speak for me. Hearing this, David began to understand. His grandfather added, "Son, when you talk too much about your dreams, not everyone will be happy for you. Some will try to bring you down. Also, when you talk about your goals, your brain starts to feel like you've already achieved something. So, your motivation to work drops." David was silent for a moment, thinking about his grandfather's words. Then he asked, "Grandpa, how can I change myself?" The grandfather smiled. "From today, speak less about your plans and focus more on action. Let your success be your voice. Remember, silence holds a powerful energy." That day changed David. He decided to stop talking about his plans to others. He studied harder, worked quietly, and avoided unnecessary conversations. He learned to keep his dreams close to his heart and let his actions do the talking. Months passed, and David saw a clear change in himself. His confidence grew. He stopped caring about people's opinions and focused on his own progress. This time, in the final exam, David ranked first in school. Everyone was amazed. His friends asked, "How did you do it?" David just smiled and remembered his grandfather's words, "Stay silent. You can achieve everything." A few years later, David became a successful entrepreneur. His story inspired many. He proved that true success comes from doing, not just talking. The strongest voice is silence. Speak less, work more. Let your success do the talking. Now, let's pause and reflect on what we can learn from David's story. In today's world, we are often encouraged to share everything, our plans, our goals, our dreams, on social media, with friends, and even with strangers. We believe that talking about our ambitions will make them real. But sometimes, just talking gives us fake satisfaction, and that satisfaction slows our hard work. When we announce our plans, our brain feels rewarded, as if we've already achieved something. This can reduce our motivation to actually do the work. There's nothing wrong with being talkative or quiet. Talking less or more depends on personality, and neither is right or wrong. But always remember, you don't need to share everything with everyone, especially your dreams, goals, and future plans. Keep them to yourself until you've made real progress. Because when you work quietly, you protect your energy and avoid unnecessary distractions. You also avoid negative comments or discouragement from others who may not understand your vision. Let us also learn some useful English words and phrases from this story. Discourage. To make someone lose confidence or enthusiasm. Motivation. The reason or reasons one has for acting or behaving in a particular way. Admiration, respect, and warm approval. Entrepreneur. A person who starts and runs a business. Satisfaction. A feeling of pleasure or contentment. Progress. Forward or onward, movement toward a destination or goal. Achievement. Something done successfully, typically by effort, courage, or skill. Confidence. The feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something. Firm trust. Obstacles. Things that block one's way or prevent progress. Reflection. Serious thought or consideration. You can use these words in your daily conversations. For example, Don't let others discourage you from following your dreams. My motivation comes from wanting to help my family. She received a lot of admiration for her hard work. He became a successful entrepreneur at a young age. Finishing the project gave me great satisfaction. I'm happy with my progress this year. Winning the competition was a big achievement. Confidence is key to success. We all face obstacles, but we must keep going. Take time for reflection to understand yourself better. Remember, building yourself so strong that your work becomes your language and your success becomes your answer is the real goal. Work quietly, and when the time is right, the world will know what you've achieved. Let your actions speak louder than your words. So, the next time you feel excited about a new goal or dream, try keeping it to yourself. Focus on the steps you need to take. Work hard in silence and let your results make the noise. You'll find that not only do you achieve more, but you also feel more satisfied and confident in your journey. If you liked this story, give it a like and comment below. That way, more people can enjoy it too. I'll be back soon with another meaningful story. Till then, stay patient, stay grateful, and keep moving forward in life. Remember, sometimes the quietest people have the loudest success. Let your silence be your strength, and let your achievements be your voice.